Okay, I'm going to start out with D01. It's an Obsidian Blade. Recently made this one to get back into knapping obsidian. It's a triple flow, I think, or tri-flow. Let's see here. I've got 2 obsidian points under DO2. So I did these at the same time I did this blade here, or around the same time, maybe a day apart. This particular piece is not as translucent as this one. Oh yeah, I didn't measure. Let's see. Okay. $5.25 for that blade. All right, these 2 points. I don't know what to call these, but they're from the book. What book, you may ask? Why, this book that you can no longer get because it's out of print. You might get an electronic copy. Okay. D03, offering these 2 points together. One is a Toya style translucent shirt. This one is translucent, semi-translucent white shirt, perdice, made on a flake. Okay. Another pair. This one is going to be D04. These are Catahoula style points out of colorful chert. This one is raw chert, and this one is heat treat. The lighting doesn't do justice to the colors on this one. There's a little bit of cortex on this one here. Okay. This is a set of colorful chert triangles. Let's see. This is D05. Yeah, set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just had these in my stash for future use, but I'm trying to clear everything out. So let's see, 2.5 on that one. 2 1/8, a little bit less, I guess, on that. Okay, this one here says it's 110 grains. I don't know what the other ones are. They usually average about 60 or something like that, of this size. You got one translucent one here. This is not translucent. That one kind of is. Kind of. And this is Georgetown. This is a mystery chert. I don't know what that is. Gosh, I don't know what this one is either. I made it so long ago that I can't remember. This is a gravel chert. I think this is from New Mexico. And this is a Texas chert. Okay. D05. Those are all together in one item number. I'm doing a lot of sets today. on this auction. This is what I call hunting triangles. Preforms for hunting points. I got the grain weight written on them. Let's see, 98, 98, 92, 90, and 94. They're all more than 7/8. They're between 7/8 and an inch. They're like 15/16. That one's 1 inch wide. That one is 15/16, 1 inch. Okay, these are all Edwards Plateau chert, Texas chert. Translucent or semi-translucent. That's a good one. All right, that's Deer 06. Some points from the last auction that didn't get sold. This was C07 from the last auction, so I'm going to put it as D07 for this one. Translucent maybe around the edges. It's just a blade. West Texas chert. Has a kind of a pinkish color here, grayish down here. Okay, that's D07. This is from the last auction, didn't get sold. It was C08. It's now going to be D08. Just a simple blade. A little bit translucent around the edges. Georgetown, raw Georgetown flint. Let's see. I think I measured these in the last video or last auction, but let's see. 4 1/4 for that one. Four 3/8 for that one. This is West Texas heat treat. Kinley rock. Okay. All right, D09 is let's see, what do you call these? Laguna Point. Another West Texas heat treat. Okay. These two are I'm offering together. These are Indirect Percussion Scotch Bluff points. They're made with Indirect Percussion. This one I wasn't too happy with. There's a flaw there, and I don't know if this stem is correct. But I like this one here. This is heat treated Horse Creek. This is heat treated Texas chert. But yeah, all the flaking is Indirect Percussion except pressure to finish up the stem and the sharpening. I'll be trying to make more of these Scotch Bluff points. Okay, let's see. You can see the colors a little bit better with this natural light. Those are offered together. Let's see. I think this one's translucent. Well, semi-translucent. Okay. I have a Montel here. D11. Kind of translucent. Texas chert. It's a little on the thick side. But I didn't want to break this material. This is a very brittle, lightly heat treated 3 5/8. It's lightly heat treated, very brittle Central Texas chert, but it has a nice translucency to it. And I'm trying to use up my spools of this size, but I don't want to break them, so I'm making them a little bit thicker. Okay. This is from the video of the Hou point, H-O-U-X. And what I did on this point is, since, you know, I like this side, but since I didn't like this side because I had a lot of steps and other imperfections, I went ahead and ground down these edges here and sent in some flakes on both sides to clear out the middle and to thin it down some more. This is dacite. It's very similar to black butter dacite, but it's kind of on the charcoal gray side of things. It's not, these dacite usually isn't translucent except around the edges. But yeah, I modified it from the video. The tips of the serrations are level with the edge, but I took back the edge about 1/16 of an inch and drove in some flakes. But that's the only modification I did different from the video. Okay, D12. All right, let's see. D13. This point here is from the book. Let me see. I already forget what it's called. Let's see. It's one of these points. Okay. Mine is a little bit bigger. Mine's a little bit bigger, but and not as thin. These are usually made on flakes, extremely thin. Right? Mine's not as thin as that, and mine's a little bit bigger. But I had this piece of chert that I was experimenting with. I think most of these are made from Monterey chert, right? Anyway, this is a heat treat that I had. It was a broken blade. I broke the tip off. You know, started similar to something like this, but it was bigger. And I just chipped it down into that style. I didn't even look at the name. Let's see. Channel Island point. Channel Island barbed. Channel Island barbed. Okay. It's got a little bit of translucency. Very interesting style from California. Again, this is a little bit bigger than the ones in the book. But very delicate barbs and very delicate tip. And for some reason, very narrow stem. Okay. And I read a little bit about those. There seemed to be some sort of ceremonial use around those. Okay. Although some of them are resharpened, right? Okay, D14. This is a coral point. Some of the cortex is still on it. It's got some really nice translucency. It's a heat treat. But I don't know where I got it from. I got it from a friend of mine who gave me a batch of coral along with other stones, and I don't know where he got it from. I got it from my friend. He got it from somewhere else. He might have self-collected it and then he treated it himself. But this is a petrified coral. It's got some little defects in it. I had to work around some of the defects. And the cortex, luckily, was flakeable, so most of it came off. All right? D14. I don't know what style that is. Looks like a scalorn, but it's a big version, I guess. All right. Last but not least, this knife here, I wanted to come up with an idea of how to haft a crescent. Right? So I looked in the book, and I found a good average size for crescents. They're not that big, actually, right? I think they're transverse mounted knives. This is 2 1/4 wide. I think they're mounted just on sticks like this, right? Where some of them have like a scoop out on this end. On the convex side, they get a scoop out here, and I was wondering why would they have a scoop out there? I think it's so that they can haft it like this. This is sinew. There's a deep notch where I set this in with hot melt. This is black modern hot melt glue, so it's not gonna melt in a hot car. It takes a lot more heat, but it will get soft and it might move. So just be aware of that with all hot melt glues. Don't leave them in a hot car or in sunlight or whatever. Okay, but anyway, this is wrapped with sinew here, and what I did was, since this is a large gap, I put a wedge in here of wood. Anyway, let's see. You can kind of see the glue line there and the glue line right there. It's a wedge put in there with a little V at the end to rest onto the crescent itself. Right, and then wrapped with sinew, and I painted it with acrylic gloss, black acrylic. It's a modern paint. Okay. Now it took me a while to mount this side, but anyway, I think they were used as knives in this way, because you can open up a hide this way. You can also, carve with it slightly or butcher with it a little bit, holding it this way. And then this is just my style of hafting knives, so I just combine the two in one. And I don't know if it was done this way or if someone's already come up with this idea. If you've already come up with this idea, I apologize. Just let me know and I'll modify the design. But I combine these 2 points. These kinds of points with a stem on it are contemporary with the crescent. They exist at the same time. So there's no conflict in that. This is a Pacific yew wood handle. All right, this is the Heartwood, sapwood. This is a modern kind of a stain marker on this upper area here. It's a paint, Again, this is sinew with a black acrylic paint, gloss black acrylic paint, modern hot melt glue in to hold a point. It's got a deep notch. That's what that is here. I just cut it on the bandsaw, and it cuts all the way down to about there because it's a pretty long stem. Yeah, I could look in the book, but I'll probably make another one of these on video so I can show you what they look like. It's a longer stem than these points. Okay. I think these are transitional paleo or late paleo. The crescent, I think, is a late paleo item. Anyway, here you go. The total length on this one, 10 1/4. The point itself was about 3.5. Yeah, about 3.5, maybe 3 3/4 inches long for the point. Now, it has the obsidian is very nice. The obsidian that I used, it has this very nice pattern in it. So I wanted to mount it as a knife because it has such a nice pattern. This has got some red on this side, but it has that flaming black looking pattern on this side, right? It's difficult to catch, but you can see how it kind of looks like black flames, right? I thought it was really cool, kind of obsidian. It's got swirls in it, and see if I can show you that. Can't really see, but it's got swirls. It's got a swirl pattern. Anyway, there you go. That's it for this week. I'm going to make more knives for future videos, but or for future auctions also. And but that's what took me a long time yesterday. I was trying to work on different ideas for that knife. Uh, so there you go. I think that's it that I was going to mention. Okay, so just look for the rules of the auction in the description. And this particular auction is not a live auction. It'll end at Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 8 Central, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific. Okay, it's ending. And when it ends, I'll let you know that you won. You're going to comment in the comment section under the comments that I post for each item. I'll post a comment for each item. Please bid here for D01, D02, D03, and so on. Okay? So just look at the other auctions in case you don't know what's going on. If you're just tuning in, I left them public so you can see what happened and how much each point was bid for and all that, and my responses and when you win and all that. Okay? So I think that's it. Good luck.